mad that I lost sleep. I'm just worried about some of you that turned in your assignments either 2 minutes before they were due or didn't get to turn them in at all. Okay. Particularly since, remember, we're starting the exam tonight, which leads me to be concerned that some of you will start the exam at 11 o'clock Monday night, which is absolutely not what you are going to want to do. Right? I'm not saying you have to start it at 5 o'clock tonight. I don't care about that. I just don't want you to be leaving these really big assessments until the last minute and putting yourself in really horrifically stressful situations. Because you can use a badge to fix this, right? Remember, no questions asked. I don't care what happened. We can fix it. You can't use a badge to fix your exam, okay? And that is the most stressful 30 minutes you're going to go through to try to punch that thing out before midnight Sunday night if you do that to yourself. Particularly if you have connection issues, which we do like constantly, right? Or anything else happens, right? There's going to be no way to fix it at 11 o'clock Sunday night. Okay? All right, so let's restart. Good morning, everybody. So I do want to start this morning, unrelated to this stuff, talking about the exams. We are going to, did I close my, I did. We are going to continue on where we left off here with our passive and maybe active transport if we get there. And you'll see that there really are not a lot of slides. We aren't going to talk about any of this co-transport stuff. I'm definitely just not even going to do that. So I really only want to get to active transport. But the first thing I want to do is talk about the test and make sure that everybody feels good about what's going on with that. So remember that tonight, am I just still here? Okay. Okay. Your individual exam opens. Okay. Neither of these exams are long. Okay. I just didn't want to try to smash them both in the same time period. If we had tech issues, that was just going to be super stressful for everybody, and that's terrible. So you have all weekend to deal with the individual portion of the exam. So that's all under proctored exam materials. Okay, so here's all of your proctorio hints and tricks if you don't remember it, because we haven't dealt with it since the syllabus quiz. So remember, and none of these computers have it, so I can't demo diddly, but you should have a little gray shield or checker piece in the corner. Okay, you need to click on the proctorio tool here. You'll get that really useless page that says it was successfully installed, which you're like, yeah, I know, I did that. Okay, then you'll be able to go into your exam. Okay, so this is telling you have 40 minutes. I think there's only like 28 questions or something, so it probably will not take you 40 minutes. Okay, there's just extra time to deal with the fact that it's online now, and I just expect stuff is going to go wrong, right? So remember that you need to have a webcam and a microphone, which all of you should have at this point because we did the lab online recitation this week. So pretty much everybody retested that they had their stuff up and running. And I know if you were in my class, I sort of gently harassed you about it to make sure everything was working okay. And I had Dr. J checking in with you too, I think. So everything should be shiny with that. Everything on the test is multiple choice. So if you've been playing the review game that I posted up yesterday afternoon, all of the questions will look very similar to that. Right? They're going to have very similar structure, very similar content. Okay, so that's a really good way to sort of test yourself, as well as they're going to be very similar structure to the types of multiple choice questions that you have in the ends of each unit in your textbook. So that's another really good way to sort of test and prep yourself for the types of questions that you have. So remember, your individual exam makes up 85% of your total score. On Monday, then, you will not come into class unless you need the Wi-Fi, in which case you're welcome to. But you otherwise do not need to come into the space. You can do it from your dorm or from the library, whatever it is you people do when you're not with me. Instead, what you're going to do then is you see below our proctored exam materials, we have the group exams. So on Monday, you're going to click in here, and during your regular class period time, so you guys are in here with me at 9 right now, okay? So at 9 a.m., we're going to click into, and this is one of the only times we're going to use a different collaborate box. Okay, so normally you just always click in that 9 a.m. synchronous link. On Monday, you're going to click into this one. And you see it doesn't even open until Monday, until just before your class starts. Okay. Once you come in, just kind of like on Tuesday or Thursday, I forgot what day of the week it is, you're going to be sorted into breakout groups. Okay. In this case, breakout groups of 4. You probably worked this week in breakout groups of 3-ish. Okay. But it's going to work very similarly. Okay. If you watch the video I posted on YouTube, you've kind of already seen how this works. Okay. The first person on the list in your breakout group will be given access to be able to share their screen in your group. Okay. That person is then going to click on this link. Okay, so everything's all in one place for you. Okay. Then within your breakout group, you're going to be able to take this group exam together. So you'll be able to talk and work through each of these questions. These questions are also multiple choice, right? So every exam that we take in this class is always multiple choice. No surprises, I promise. Not big on surprises. Okay. Some of the questions will look familiar. Okay, and that they will be the exact same questions from your individual exam. Okay, so the reason or benefit behind this is that you will be able to work together on these, okay, and be able to make sure that you got them, okay, or improve your score from the first exam that you took. Okay. Some questions on here will be brand new. Okay, so you will be able to work together to solve the question. And then answer it. Okay, so you guys will submit one exam for the 4 of you. And that score will then be applied to all 4 of you. Okay, this score will add an additional 15% to your score, right? So it will not bring your score down, it will only increase your score. That makes sense? Any question about how the exams for this class will work?
When we submit, do we get a grade automatically?
That is a great question, and unfortunately the answer is I don't know. So for your group or your individual exams, yes. Okay, that one will give you a grade automatically. Okay. So for these, so her question is online if you didn't hear, is will it propagate in a grade for you immediately and automatically? So for your individual exams, don't forget there's an extra credit separate one because eLearn is dumb and doesn't know how to score. There is a separate extra credit. These will propagate instant score for you. For the group exams, while I've done group exams before, I've actually never set it up this way online. So you guys are kind of my guinea pigs. For the person that took it, it will. Ideally, IT promises me it should propagate to all 4 of you. I don't trust IT. So I don't know. It may be that I will have to go in on Tuesday and hand enter the score for the other group members. Or it may be that it does it for you. I don't trust eLearn. So I don't know. But there may be a slight delay on knowing your group score and therefore your total exam score. So ideally you'll know super fast. It may be that you won't know until Wednesday morning what your final score is. I would like to not hand enter all the grades. Hopefully eLearn just does its job. That's my goal, I know that. Okay, any questions about the exams and how they're going to work?
So somebody asked in the chat, so the group exam can only help us, it cannot hurt.
Absolutely correct. The group exam can only help, and on average, it increases your average individual score by a 2 to 5%. So if you generally score, say, a 72 on your exams, then usually you're popped up to like a 75 or a 76 for an overall final score.
Do the percents just get like added since it's like a total of 100? Is it like
Yeah, so mathematically that's how it works, yeah. Okay, any extra credit you've done at this point, you should already see in there. Office hours, tutoring, study sessions. That should clearly already be reflected, and that's added to your total exams, so all 3. Okay. The Kahoot game that's up right now, okay, that'll be added specifically to your exam 1, so that's not obviously in there at all yet. And that one may end up going in last. You might see a bit of a delay on that one because I actually have to pull those scores and then rank them and all sorts of ninjutsu to figure out where that goes. Okay, any other questions? Okay. You will notice on the proctored exam material page that as a last resort, I figured out how to give you guys the code to get in. A word of caution. Okay. While you can use this code, okay, fine. Okay, you guys can see it. It's fine. Okay. Proctorio hates it when you do that. Okay, I'm sure you figured out by now it is a little bit of a control freak. Okay. So, do the proctorio steps first. If it fails, do them again. If it fails, do them again. Okay? This code is only on here as a last resort. Okay? If you really, really, really can't get it to work, or if you get kicked out, okay, go through the proctorio steps again, but if it really, really, really won't let you back in. Okay? Then, and only then, use the password. Okay? When I've used the password backdoor in the past, it will act funny, and it will flag your exam. Okay? So you don't want to use the password. It's going to seem super easy up front, but your test is going to act funny and really cranky and not want to let you submit it when you're done. Okay? So on the back end, you're really going to hate it and be super stressed. Okay? So it's there, but use it as a safety net rather than as your first step. Okay. We like safety nets. Safety nets are good, right? If your computer crashes halfway through the proctorio test, you can always go back in it. You just have to click in, click create reentry by agent, and the agent will let you back in. Okay, and you can always use the password then to get back in. Okay, your computer crashing or getting kicked out through the test will not automatically submit your test. It will not automatically fail your test. Okay? As long as you still have time left, right? So if you've only used 20 minutes of your timer, if you get kicked out, you still have time, okay? But your timer usually doesn't stop, okay? So the key is take 5 deep breaths, reboot, and get back in, okay? That's the key. Okay, just keep her going. Any questions about any of this?
When you answer each individual question, does it submit that question or can you go back and change it?
So all of your questions are all on one page, right? So you'll get all of the tests at once, just like you would if you were doing it on paper, and you'll get to read them all, change them all, look to see, oh, this question kind of helped me back on question 1, okay? And then when you're done, you'll submit the whole exam at once. And it'll even ask you, when you click submit, it'll say, are you sure? Right? Are you super sure? Oh, no! I was, now I'm not. Right? So You'll get lots of chances. Keep in mind too with the timer on these, and I kind of remind you, sometimes it doesn't keep the timer on the screen. It's a really obnoxious thing, but there is a running timer for you, so sometimes you have to scroll all the way to the bottom to see it. Okay, so it's like a hidden feature. Anything else?
Should be extra credit exam, multiple choice.
It is. Everything is. Yes. It's just 2 additional multiple choice questions, but it doesn't seem to know how to count them if I put it in the same exam. So I just gave up a long time ago.
And the extra credit is funded as well, right?
It is, yeah. So it's literally the exact same thing. It's just like its own separate super mini quiz. So you'll just get like an additional 10 minutes to do 2 questions. You also get to take like a pause and a breath before you restart that one too. Shiny? It's cookies and cream. Okay. We were not there. We were here. Everything good, Justin?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When you get a second, can you hit record for me?
So I was already recording the group test, so you want me to stop and then start?
Yes.